Siri, what is the definition of a brand?
As a noun, it means a type of product manufactured by a particular company under a particular name. Hear the next one.
Sure.
As a noun, it means an identifying mark burned on livestock or, especially formerly, criminals or slaves with a branding iron.
Hello guys, Hamza here with Brand New Dreams, and on this channel we talk everything branding for small businesses. Today we're gonna try to answer the question of what is branding. Well, I watched a lot of documentaries online on marketing, advertising. I've read a lot of books on branding. I've looked up a lot of stuff online on like what is branding, and I'm always trying to get a good answer for that question. What is branding? And I was able to find this Skillshare sponsored video on YouTube defining what is branding, and her definition of branding was that branding is deliberate differentiation. And that's a really good definition of what branding is. So that should be our video for today. Please don't forget to subscribe, and that's that. Well, wait. Hold on a second. That just can't be it. I have a different take on what is branding. Let's look it up. Let's try to just look it up. So let's ask Siri. Siri, what is the definition of a brand?
As a noun, it means a type of product manufactured by a particular company under a particular name. Do you want to hear the next one?
Sure.
As a noun, it means an identifying mark burned on livestock or, especially formerly, criminals or slaves with a branding iron. Want to hear one more?
Yes, please.
As a noun, it means a piece of burning or smoldering wood. Want to hear one more?
No thanks. So obviously Siri is a little bit close. She got it right the first time, but it wasn't what I was looking for. Let's try to just Google the word what is branding and see what we can come up with. So a brand. A brand is a name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller's good or service as distinct from those of other sellers. Brands are used in business, marketing, and advertising. Name brands are sometimes distinguished from generic and store brands. And that's a good definition. That's a definition you want to give to your clients. If you're a small business and you want to send some information to a designer, this is the definition you want to give to a designer. Branding at the end of the day is all about design, right? And you're trying to design something beautiful that is able to solve a set of problems. Let's say those problems are questions like how do I communicate efficiently? How do I stand out? How do I adapt to change? How do I have consistent messaging? That's really like the definition of brand. But again, I think there's a little bit more to branding than just that. Here's what I think of branding is. Branding is the story you tell with your product and service. It's the world you create with your product and service. It's the universe you create with your products or service. And when I say universe, I always think of Quentin Tarantino movies, for example. So Quentin Tarantino, famous writer and director, but there is a theory that all his movies are connected. So that scene in Pulp Fiction where Uma Thurman is talking to John Travolta, and she's talking about this audition that she did, that she's gonna be doing. The audition she's doing, it's about this movie, and this movie, it's pretty much the plot for Kill Bill, which is another movie that he did. So that was his subtle way of creating this universe where people know, where people can connect with. So that's a subtle way of doing that, right? But right now it's much more in your face. Like with Marvel movies, for example, there is the Thor movie, and there's the Captain America movie, and there is the Spider-Man movie, and all of them somehow connect in this Avengers 1 and 2 and 3. So all these kind of like different powerful characters connect in this like one world, and like the audience get to connect in that world, and the audience understands that whole universe. And you might be like, okay, well, Hamza, you're talking about movies, of course there's a storyline. But let's take, for example, Nike. So Nike, when they sponsor LeBron James, LeBron becomes somehow this character. LeBron becomes somehow a character in the Nike story. Now let's take even a better example of like Beats by Dre. So the headphones Beats by Dre, they were designed by Dr. Dre. So these headphones, they were, when Beats by Dre came out, there were so many headphones in the market. But the way he did his branding is that he created this universe, and he was pretty much handing out these headphones to all these athletes and these superstars. All these powerful people became characters in the Beats by Dre story. So they were able to create this universe where people can connect with. And I'm not, see how I'm saying connect? I'm not saying pretty much that these people are escaping to that world. This is not any form of escapism. This is a form of connection. And I mean, if you think about it this way, if you had two products that have the same features and have similar branding, the product that you're gonna buy is the product with the better story. I mean, just think of Apple and Microsoft. A lot of people go for Apple because they know about Steve Jobs and Wozniak, and how Apple was created in a garage, and how Steve Jobs took all these calligraphy classes. The best thing you can do for somebody buying from you is give them a story, is give them a world, is offer them like this universe where they get to connect with. At the end of the day, I honestly think that all of us are individuals that were very unique, that even though like we're all trying to get blended into this one thing, and we all to be part of these tribes, but at the end of the day, each one of us is so unique, and we live in our own heads. And I think what these sometimes brands are able to do is that they create this world for us where we can, all of us, somehow go there and connect. And that's my very complicated answer to the question of what is branding. The best thing a company or a brand can do is create a world, and you get to create it with your brand colors, you get to create it with your typography, you get to create it, of course, with your packaging and all these things, and people connect with that on an emotional level, and it makes you think, it makes you look like you've thought of every little detail. It makes you look like you really wanna create a world for the people who are buying from you. Yeah, that's my video for today. I'm not sure who's honestly like watching this, but if you do, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. I really appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you. Peace.